Ice, the most important word you need to hear right now, ice. Icy roads after snow switch to freezing rain. As ice builds up, trees and power lines are at risk. Ice brings down danger to the triad. We are on top of it to keep you safe.
It started as snow, a dusting in Greensboro, inches elsewhere.
Within hours, dozens of crashes, and the number keeps growing.
And we're just getting started. Ice continues to build tonight on roads, power lines, trees, and homes.
Snow, sleet, freezing rain, ice. What you need to know right now to be safe. WFMY News 2 at 11 is new and now.
Well, families around Guilford County are facing these problems. Delays, no money, no food, but they aren't the only ones paying the price. Look in the mirror. You're paying up too in taxes, donations. Your tax money went to pay the 80 extra workers as they fixed this backlog. Your tax money paid the overtime as they worked around the clock. And your tax money would be at risk if DSS missed that federal deadline and lost almost $90 million in funding. And you're paying again when you make donations to food pantries that are running low faster than ever. Supplies are low both because of higher need after power outages spoiled food for thousands of families and because more people are seeking help while they wait months for food stamp benefits on their EBT card.
So from officers to body shop experts, a quiet evening isn't a sign of what's to come.
Because when there's ice on the road, you get this and all of this with crashes, delays, traffic.
That is a lot. WFMY News 2's Morgan Hightower went out with a state trooper to clock drivers as they took to the roads and found a warning against getting too confident going into tomorrow. Morgan. 3 to 5 inches more snow in less than 24 hours.
Burned in a car, a mom and a toddler's fate.
And loving after living through death.
WFMY News 2 at 11 is new and now.
By this time tomorrow, it'll be snowing across the Triad, and we could pick up close to 5 inches of snow before it's all said and done.
All hands on deck. Everybody's here doing what they can do.
We're building kind of a layer of anticipation of bad weather, for tomorrow night. In case that comes wrong, we don't.
It really depends a lot on the timing. If the event comes in rush hour, whether it's morning rush hour or afternoon, then our trucks are out there with everyone else and they're moving a lot slower.
Oh no, honey, I'm scared to drive when the street's wet.
Scared to drive when the street's wet. That's what she said. So don't get caught off guard on the roads, or you might be stuck out in even more snow.
Yeah, this morning, a snowy commute mess. You didn't see it coming, but the storm we're expecting in the next 24 hours. Make sure you're watching closely.
Many schools already announced a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. So let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Grant Gilmore. Grant, about ½ an inch today. Several more inches could be on the way. Rain tonight, snowflakes possible in the morning.
Car versus building, a warning for all drivers.
And cash for cuddles. Not everyone gets hugs for free.
Cash for cuddles. WFMY News 2 at 11 starts now.
No matter what you do, any type of distracted driving is going to affect not only you, but somebody else.
I don't want my kids to be data points in a study that comes out 15 years from now.
Heard somebody say one time that the 3 best coaches at that time were John Wooden, Bob Knight, and Dean Smith.
Always kind of depended on him and thought about what would Coach Smith do in this situation, and that's kind of how I've tried to live my life.
It's very important for everyone to really feel like they're not alone in this world.
Well, take a close look at these photos while we tell you a few of the facts. Every year, drivers crash 20,000 vehicles into buildings nationwide.
And that's 50 to 60 each and every day. 41% of those wrecks are caused by driver confusion or pedal error.
Okay, now stop. How much of those pictures do you remember? What kind of car was it? Did you see the pictures of the ladders? How many ladders were there?
So when you split your attention, it's hard to catch everything. In this case, a car ran into the front of a FedEx store. It's still too early to say for sure if it was distracted driving, but WFMY News 2's Tony Smith discovered distractions are #1 on investigators' list, and it's a top problem for every driver. Tony. Well, don't miss this. In about 3 minutes, brine costing drivers billions. The salty mixture adds to safety but subtracts from your wallet. And in less than 10 minutes, dead for 45 minutes, living and loving after the afterlife.
Breaking news just in the past hour. A verdict in the American Sniper trial. The jury has found Eddie Ray Ruth guilty of capital murder. Ruth was accused of killing 2 people, including Chris Kyle, the famous American sniper depicted in the feature film. Ruth's attorney says his client has a mental illness. Nevertheless, Ruth will face life in prison with no chance for parole. Yeah, we're doing this again. Can you believe it? And this time, here I am. I'm going to pull up a chair, take me some notes. This is a complicated forecast, I'm told.
All right, so snow chances for tomorrow and more winter weather Wednesday night into Thursday morning, Frank.
Again, Chief Meteorologist Greg Gilmore is going to break this down step by step. I've got my notes.
All right, get ready.
Don't miss this in about 8 minutes.
With your family, with your friends, those are times you may make poor decisions.
From vacation time to voice waves, it's all under the microscope when officers are investigating job candidates.
When you see something cool, unusual, or wrong, it's easy to pull out the smartphone and catch it on camera. But what do you do when you see this? Someone breaking the law in major. This woman did it right.
Plus spotting severe weather when it's on the way, how you can get in on the action.
And hey, no severe weather out there today. In fact, hard to find some clouds. Just a couple of high clouds, but high temperatures up around 80 degrees this afternoon.
Schools and bus drivers have to drive the routes after bad weather before making the call to close. We'll check out what drivers saw on the roads today. Alamance Burlington schools took these pictures of icy roads. Even if some roads are totally clear, other streets like these can still cause problems for the district.
Still 5 things you need to know before you go to bed tonight. Number 1. New tonight, the truck driver involved in a Southern California train crash is charged with felony hit and run. At least 28 people were hurt when this commuter train hit a truck this morning. 3 cars on that commuter train fell onto their sides. Investigators say the conductor saw the truck ahead of time and slowed the train down.
Number 2, 2 people stepped off a bus in South Korea into empty air. A sinkhole opened up below them on the sidewalk. Rescue crews used cranes to lift them out of the big hole. Fortunately, their injuries were minor.
Number 3, 2 ambulances crashed in Georgia this morning. This is from our Gannett sister station in Macon. The sheriff's office there says the ambulances were following each other. One of the drivers blacked out. Both are fine. No one else was in the emergency vehicles.
Number 4, George Zimmerman will not face federal charges for shooting and killing black teenager Trayvon Martin. A jury found Zimmerman not guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter in 2013. Today, the Justice Department said there was not enough evidence to charge Zimmerman with a federal hate crime.
And number 5, President Barack Obama used his veto for the 3rd time in his presidency. He shot down the congressionally approved Keystone Pipeline bill. His Republican opponents support the oil pipeline's job creation opportunities. The president and some environmentalist groups oppose it due to their concerns about the environment.
Grant is holding his Got Snow handle.
We're ready. We're ready for it this time, right? Yeah, tomorrow when the snow starts to arrive, we want you to chime in on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Use the hashtag #GotSnow. We'll be measuring with our Got Snow sticks out here in the Weather Garden. Let's get right to it.
Still 5 things you need to know before you go to bed. Number 1, the U.S. Senate has until the end of the week to agree on funding for the Department of Homeland Security. And they're stuck right now because of immigration amendments added in the House last week. More than 80% of the 240,000 Homeland Security workers will still have to work because of national security concerns, but they won't get paid unless a budget is approved. Number 2, intelligence officials say they're skeptical about realistic terror threats to American malls. The Somali-based terror group Al-Shabaab called on people to target American shopping centers this weekend. The same terror group claimed responsibility for that mall attack in Kenya in 2013 that killed more than 60 people.
Number 3, 10 students at Wesleyan University in Connecticut were hospitalized this past weekend after taking the drug Molly. We've told you about Molly before. It's a drug similar to ecstasy that's been mentioned in popular music lyrics. Number 4, the U.S. Postal Service plans to honor Maya Angelou with a forever stamp, but details such as when it will be available or what it will look like haven't been released yet. Angelou died last May. Many attended her memorial at her church of 30 years in Winston-Salem.
Number 5, a single mother of 4, now a multimillionaire. 26-year-old Marie Holmes claimed her third of the Powerball jackpot in Raleigh. She plans to take the lump sum payment worth just $120 million. Her kids, all under the age of 7, one has cerebral palsy. She says she'll take good care of the kids, but that does not mean she'll say yes to everything they want.
Yes, discipline.
Yeah.
Got to do that. So, Grant, some would argue that we are not hitting the jackpot with the weather this week.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, it depends on kind of how you look at things and how much winter that you can handle.
First, a huge plume of fire and smoke. Now a fire is burning and thick black smoke's blowing high in the air for the second day from a crashed train in West Virginia. The 109-car train carrying oil derailed yesterday. About 2,400 people have been evacuated from the area. At least one tanker from the North Dakota train also fell in the Kanawha River.
A federal judge ordered a stop to the president's immigration amnesty plan. 26 states have challenged the president's executive order. Back in November, he decided to make it easier for illegal immigrants to stay in the country, stopping the deportation of millions of undocumented workers. The president says his order was lawful, and the Department of Justice will challenge the judge's decision.
Today, partiers in New Orleans and around the country celebrated Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, and as is the custom, beads, floats, and drinks came out on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. The celebrations end at midnight in observance of the Catholic Lent season that starts on tomorrow.
Well, you might as well have some fun in it, right? So we've gotten so many great Got Snow pictures from you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also email to us. Our own team had a little fun with the hashtag. Here are a few of them competing for the best Got Snow pose. So make sure you keep sending us your Got Snow poses as well. We'll keep posting and sharing, and you can see all of our slideshows on WFMYnews2.com. Stick around.